Hey there, welcome to the Connecting Kitchen. I'm Meryl and this is my friend Lori.
Hello.
Yeah, Lori's not only my friend, but she's a client. I met her at one of the cooking events that I was doing in her community, and I often offer to coach people to better health and wellness if they're interested, and she just ran right over to me afterwards and said, I want some of that. So what does that actually mean, health coaching? I'm a certified health coach, by the way, in case you don't know that. A lot of you know that about me. So what that means is we're not just getting healthy, we're not just getting our bodies healthy, but we're actually bringing balance into our lives, right? We're talking about finances, career, education, spirituality, home cooking. So we've been cooking together and working together and laughing together on Lori's journey for the last 5 months.
Almost 6 months now.
Almost 6 months. And I can't tell you how impressed and proud I am of her, how she's come up with her own ideas, the things that will work for her, that fit into her life, because we really know ourselves better than anybody else, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to give you a chance to share.
Okay.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself or what you've been doing or where you started?
Well, I am a mother and have 2 grandchildren as well, and my husband and myself just moved into a 55 plus community, which is where I met Meryl at. And I loved her cooking class so much, and my husband and I thought we were eating pretty healthy. We were eating fish and ground turkey and a lot of fruits and veggies. But after talking to Meryl and coming and speaking with her, I found out that we needed to tune it up even more. And I am very happy to say, after my journey so far, for the first time in my life, I am off my cholesterol medicine and I am off my blood pressure medicine. And I was on my blood pressure medicine for 12 years and have been on my cholesterol medicine for about 10. I've lost 15 pounds, and I've had several people say to me, what are you doing? Because your skin looks so good, you look radiant, and I feel much better. But it's a lot of choices that you have to do. And when I talk to people and tell them, we cook extra things on the weekend to make for our lunches, so we eat healthier, and it's doing the diligence that really pays off. And in the midst of my 6 months of doing this, we moved, had our home for sale. And so some of that journey, I wasn't able to fully engage myself, but we did the best that we could do, and it still paid off for me. And you have to do the full package of exercise and eat healthy. And I do a lot of organic things now. I did organic before, but not to the extent that I do now. And I really do believe that has helped pay off. Yes, you have to pay more money up front for those organic foods, but you have to ask yourself, do you want to pay now or do you want to pay later for that? And so for me, the cost to pay more now has already paid off, and hopefully going forward in my life, it will continue to pay off.
Oh my goodness. That was just so beautifully said. I told you she fully grasped the whole idea. It's been a beautiful journey. You do look beautiful. You're glowing. You look more fit. We've just introduced some routine exercise, right? Mm-hmm. So I know that you're going to take it to even the next level. And I'm so excited. And not only that, she's bringing other people along with her. Her husband's on board now, and he's making the changes. Her friends are asking her. So we can all do this together.
Yes. But you have to ask yourself if you want to make the choice. And it's a huge choice to do this. And I am speaking from the heart. It is worth doing it. And I love to come here and cook with her, and I'm trying all new recipes now. And I can say I'm a lot more confident in my day-to-day life as well.
Yeah, so you mentioned the choices, and one thing that I really try and impress upon people early on is that you need to focus on what you're getting, not what you're giving up or what you're changing. Because everything you're giving up wasn't really serving you in the first place, right?
Yes.
So you don't even miss it. You've replaced it with something better, something that feels good, something that makes your skin glow, something that makes people more attracted to you.
Well, and we like to go out to eat too, and we've cut that back. But when we do go out to eat, I feel really guilty because you're looking at the menu going, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, but you've done an excellent job of taking your strategies to the restaurant with you.
Yes. So anyway, but I am so excited. What are we gonna make today?
Yeah, so let's talk about what we're making today. This is so easy, and especially as the weather gets a little bit cooler. It's delicious, it's comforting, it's warm, it's a soup, or it's kind of like a stew in a soup. We're gonna make a vegetable soup with carrots and mushrooms, bell peppers. I got red bell peppers here. Let me pick this up so that you can see it. Oops, I lost a potato. We got some red bliss potatoes. We got sweet potatoes, green beans, garlic, onions, and we're going to add some lentils. And if you can't guess, you can put in your favorite vegetables. You don't have to do these. I didn't even ask you if there's anything you don't like.
It all looks good to me.
All looks
and it's
good.
all, I can tell by looking at it all, it's all healthy too.
It's
Yeah,
healthy,
yes.
it's delicious,
And
it's
I see-
colorful.
See, we're going to do some spices, and all the spices are so good for you too.
That's right.
And they add a lot of flavor. I've really opened my horizons on the spices.
Yes, because spices are healing. These are some herbs. We have thyme and tarragon. We're going to add some bay leaves. And then we have the garlic, onions, a little salt and pepper. But you can put whatever spices you like. The vegetables are almost like a blank canvas to create whatever works for you. You can add peas instead of green beans or cauliflower or whatever sounds good.
Yeah.
And we're basically just going to throw it all in a pot, add some soup stock, and let it simmer. And that's pretty much it.
It sounds great. I can't wait to try it.
Okay, so let's get started. We are going to turn this on. We're going to get our soup pot heating. We're going to add some butter as our fat to saute the onions and the garlic and the peppers. And this is grass-fed butter. So it's from cows that are grass-fed because that's healthier for us. I'm going to put a couple tablespoons in there. And this, we're just kind of throwing it in. If there's something you like better, you can add more of that. You just eyeball the butter. If you have a little extra, it doesn't matter. If you have a little less, it doesn't matter. It all tastes good. I chopped some of the onions today. You want to chop the garlic?
Sure.
Okay, why don't you chop the garlic? We can kind of share this cutting board. Lori and I have been chopping a lot together, so I did some of it in advance because I figured she's got the hang of it now.
And I'm looking at all new recipes now and can't wait to try different things.
Yeah, so cooking's so creative. It's fun to share with somebody, so get somebody in your household involved, whoever that is. Could be somebody outside your home if you're living alone. Just enjoy it. And like everything else, as you do it more, you just get better at it. It gets easier, and you get to experiment and create and nourish, and there's just no downside. So make the time, and like I said, this is so quick.
And I know one thing you like to encourage too, and I've seen it happen with us as well. My husband and I, when we do meals together, we'll do the preparation together as well if he's around and such. And it's a nice time to get a talk as well.
Oh, I love that. I didn't even know that. So that's something new.
Yes.
Yeah, I love the way you're just leading the way. I can't even say that enough. Here, you want to put these all in? We're going to put in the onions and the peppers and the garlic and get them sauteing. Here, I have a spoon for you. Maybe get a bigger spoon.
But I just would like to add in too, though, it's not just food with
Yes.
you. we talk about a lot of other things as well. And you have, like I said earlier, you got to put it all together and do it, and it really does pay off. And because sometimes you have stressful times in your life, and that makes you want to go eat things that you shouldn't eat.
Yeah. Well, we talked about coping skills. We've done some work on meditation.
Mhm.
I can't tell you enough how much yoga has helped people. It's such a wonderful exercise. So,
Yes.
are you starting yoga?
This weekend.
This weekend, okay.
Yes.
And she's been swimming. She started swimming,
And
weightlifting, right?
walk every day. Yes, yes.
Walk every day. Let's keep our eye on this while we're chatting. Okay, so we're gonna just let that saute for a little. You want to do the sweet potatoes, and I'll do the red potatoes.
Okay, what are we doing with
We're
these?
just cutting them into chunks.
Okay.
Everything's just gonna, I always leave the skin on because the skin has a lot of fiber and nutrients close to the skin. So you're just gonna cut it up. Yeah, here, you can come share with me again. Or let's move this stuff off of here.
I know for breakfast we used to do oatmeal like 5 days a week, and I got a recipe from you about doing smoothies, homemade smoothies, and they have organic mangoes or organic blueberries and super greens and ground flaxseed and cocoa and almond milk.
Oh, that sounds good. You're making me hungry.
It really, in fact, I was making them twice a week, and then my husband asked me to start making them 3 times a week and cut back on the oatmeal to twice a week. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, the oatmeal's still good for you, but it's
Yes.
nice to have a couple of choices, right?
yes, yes.
You know, and maybe the smoothie works better for her.
Well, and by incorporating the super greens into the smoothie, it gives us a chance to get in our veggies for the day too.
I love it. Well, and that's something that I wanted to mention too for this soup stew. You can just throw a handful of greens in at the end too, no problem. A couple handfuls of greens. You won't even hardly know they're in there, but it's nice to have them.
And that's something else I do too. If I am making certain dishes, I'll just grab a handful of super greens and throw them right on top as well. And so it's just an extra boost of that vegetables and trying to incorporate. Because that's one thing that's really hard, is to
Let's put them in. We're going to put it all in.
get all your veggies in a day.
We're putting in the green beans. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It's fun. Isn't it fun?
And it smells really good.
Yeah. I love to cook with people.
Can't wait to try it. So one thing I always like about coming here too is what we're gonna make and how good it's just trying things that I wouldn't have thought about doing, and now it gets me encouraged to want to try all sorts of different things.
Oh, good. Well, and that's the idea. You know, people kind of dread cooking all the time, but if they just got into it a little bit, they would realize how fun it is. Saves you time, saves you money in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 25 minutes these days to wait in the drive-through lane at the fast food place just because they're so overcrowded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that looks good. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. It looks good and it really smells good. Mm-mm-mm.
And it's taken us so little time. Speaking of time, we're going to put in our tarragon in time.
Okay.
Just a half teaspoon. And why don't I give you the thyme and I'll get the tarragon. Or you can do both. I'm going to give this a stir. Whatever's on the bottom. And the bay leaf went in. Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yep.
Okay, and we're going to put it in our chicken stock. Just depends whether you like your soup thinner or thicker. We're going to start with 3 cups.
That's another thing that I was surprised about mentioning salt, because having high blood pressure, you were always supposed to be very conscious of your salt.
Okay, sorry.
And I remember you saying to me in the beginning, don't worry so much about the salt, which I mean, I haven't gone crazy with it, but I'm not like, oh, I can't have any sort of thing. And yet my blood pressure is still really good.
Yes, oh good.
Yes.
So a lot of time, I mean, salt is not causing you high blood pressure. It's other things that you're doing.
Mhm.
It's a lack of exercise, it's a poor diet. And again, I'm not your doctor, so if you're under a doctor's care, you need to consult with them on what's causing your high blood pressure. But I mentioned that if you change your diet and what you're doing, that you have a good chance of lowering your blood pressure. And then we talked about calming techniques also, so that when life does get crazy, when you're moving and your mother-in-law is being rushed to the emergency room and the paperwork isn't there on your closing, that you have a way to just bring it all down. So you're not risking your life.
Do your deep breathing.
Deep breathing, meditation,
Yes.
lots of cool things that you can do to be in control of your own health and wellness. Look how good that is. We added the lentils and some pepper. And you can add whatever you want. If you like it really spicy, you can chop up a jalapeno and put it in there. Sky's the limit. So it takes some dedication, takes some discipline. Your health coach is there for accountability to keep you on track. When you get stuck or you have a question, a health coach can really make a big difference. But the bottom line is you're creating new habits. We're doing it slowly, we're doing it with intention, we're figuring out what works for your body and your life. And 6 months is sort of a minimum time to create the new habits.
And like I said before, people have asked me what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then they've asked me like how much you charge and such, and they don't want to do that. But again, it goes back to, do you want to pay now?
Yes.
Or do you want to pay later?
Well, first of all, your health is priceless.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just priceless. And to get the help of somebody who can steer you in the right direction just makes it easier, makes it more enjoyable. I mean, we've been having fun. Well, I encourage people to take charge of their health, take responsibility for their health, because a lot of times if you don't, you get to a point where you've gone so far that you develop a serious illness, and we just want to avoid that if at all possible. When I was growing up, people went to the doctor like once a year. Now it's become a thing where they're going to the doctor multiple times a month, or at least multiple times a year, and that's become normal, and we want to get away from that.
And I shared with you the last time I was here, I just realized usually I always get a sinus infection every year, and it's usually in the earlier part of the year I get sick. And I just started this journey with you in April. I've not been sick at all. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Yes.
No, nothing. And so
Good for you.
that's a good feeling too.
Yeah, so the human body has amazing ability to protect itself, to heal itself. You just have to do the right things for it. And in our crazy world, we are running on empty, we're stressed out, we're grabbing whatever, we're eating wherever, and it just doesn't work. You might get away with it for a small amount of time, but you won't get away with it long term.
And like, for instance, when we make this stew today, this will be a lot.
Yes.
And so this is something then I can take and make other little dishes of it. We can take for our lunch. We might be able to have for a dinner that maybe we've got a crazy night. If you have kids, they got to go out for sports events or whatever. Just warm it up. There it is, and it's already all healthy. You can have it. We make fajitas and all sorts of good things that they make plenty of food.
Yeah.
And so you can have multiple meals and not, because I know time is definitely a huge thing that a lot of people, I said it with you too. When I had all those showings, and we had 50 showings for our house.
Oh my God. At a moment's notice, she had to have her house spotless, which meant her kitchen, and had to be ready to evacuate or leave with her dog. And, so cooking was really a challenge.
It was.
But you still made it work.
We did the best that we could, but it still paid off.
Yeah, good. Well, I am so happy for you and so proud of you. And I know you're going to keep it going. And
I am.
We're not done yet, but yeah.
It's a change. It's a lifetime change, because once you commit to it, you have to do it. Because if you get off the boat, you'll get right back into those bad decisions like you did before.
Honestly, this is really the only diet there is. There are a whole bunch of programs out there and everything, but this is the only one that lasts. It's the only one that people stay on. It's just a healthy lifestyle. That's the name of this diet.
And I really like it a lot because I've done a lot of things before, and then you fall off the bandwagon and
Yeah.
you kind of go back to where you were. But I'm gonna stay with it. We both my husband and I are.
Oh, good. Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see all your great results over the
Thank
next
you.
bunch of months and years. Okay, so we're going to take a little break. Our pot is simmering, and we'll be back when it's done.